Latif and crew. We're about to fix the concerns between the market and the providers. And this is all boiling down to insurance. Now, there's a word. Now, every time you hear it, you think, oh my goodness, here we go again. Wamekuja kutuzia nini wakule pesa yangu. Watakuwa very sweet when it comes to paying those installments. Bringing you in, man. They love you and they show it to you. But then when it hits the fan, what hits the fan? Don't you even dare ask me that. But when it does hit the fan, then a lot of people will complain, malipo ni pole pole. Ever been in that situation? Well, you're in luck, because with Fellaris and myself right here on Capital in the Morning is one Esther Kiome, General Manager, Claims, all the way from Old Mutual. And she's here to not only answer those questions, but try and paint a different picture, so to speak.
And, a good place to start would be exactly where Chiko has began this conversation is public trust when it comes to matters insurance. Now, there's still a very low number of people that are taking up insurance, be it for these all kinds of insurance, be it domestic, health, your motor vehicle. There's the ones that you cannot run without, but at the same time, it is not a thing that a lot of people look forward to doing. So maybe Esther, good morning, first of all. I know we've been chit-chatting, but good morning.
Good morning, Fellaris and Chiko. It's a pleasure for me to be here, and I'm grateful for this opportunity. Yes, thank you.
It's good that we have an organization like Old Mutual in the house to have this conversation with. And Esther, in your years of experience, you've been at Old Mutual for a while.
Yes.
Yeah, you spoke about 15 years.
Yes.
It's from where you sit. Why do you think there's such low public trust when it comes to matters insurance? And maybe in line with that is what Old Mutual is doing to help ease those kind of the skepticism and that people have towards insurance.
I think the main thing is that there is misinformation, and a lot has to be done in terms of creating awareness and making people understand exactly what insurance is all about. Because people are told by different people. It's just like if you go to see a doctor and you don't see the right doctor, then you're likely to be misinformed, misdiagnosed, and that kind of thing. So it's the same thing that when you're going to buy something, you need to just make sure that if it's a shirt, you understand, how will I wash this shirt? What are the expectations? And when you understand the product that you're buying, then you will be able to use it the way it's supposed to be used, and to get the benefits that you'd expect the benefits to give you. So it's just aligning your expectations with the policies or the products that are there in the market. Yes.
Speaking of aligning, how about we align with what you actually do from day to day?
Yeah.
So General Manager Claims, what does that entail in your normal execution of the business?
Thank you. So mine is really at the tail end. That is the payment of the claim.
That's what we want to talk about, huh?
And it's really where we say the rubber meets the road. So once you buy a policy, you keep renewing your policies, and then one time there's an incident, what we call materializing of the risk. Maybe there's a fire, there is an accident on the road. That's where I come in, to make sure that the customers get the benefit of why they bought the insurance. So mine is actually to make sure that there's fulfillment of that pledge we made, the promise of paying the claim.
How easy or how hard is it to actually get that as a customer? Now, forget the business. The business, I've been paying, I have the claim, something happens, rubber meets the road, and I'm wondering what kind of traction we have here. How hard has it been over the course when you look at, how long have you been at Old Mutual?
15 years.
15 years. So you've been in this insurance for quite some time, and you
Yes.
understand how it's grown over time. Let's talk about that growth. Back in the day, it was always so hard to get your claims. You had to jump through loopholes, and yet it is your money. They're very quick to accept it. But when it comes to paying those claims, or as you said, fulfill, it became quite problematic. How has that changed, and why hasn't it changed, if it has, in terms of perception from the public?
I believe a lot has changed since a few years ago in terms of understanding what is my part in the process, what should I do, and the fact that you can even file your claim online, the fact that you can call and understand, you can call the insurance company or your intermediary and get the information that you need. You can download your claim form, you can complete and just upload claim form and other documents. So a lot has changed, but there's still more that needs to be done in terms of creating awareness, and that's one of the reasons that we're here, to make sure that customers understand when there's a loss, what should I do? So, we've also done a lot in terms of rescue when in a road accident. I've been in one where you find that within no time you're surrounded by so many people. You stop worrying about your vehicle, you start worrying about your safety or your security. And it's at that point that you can just make a call, and within a short time, somebody will come to rescue you. That's the kind of facilitation that we have made. We call it Rescue Plus. And at the same time, you can get an ambulance immediately in case you're injured. Your vehicle can be taken to a place of safety, and the whole process of assisting with police and getting you a courtesy car to get you to your next location, for free, such that then we can deal with the details later. I think we've just tried to make the whole process very easy, and we're trying to do even much, much more, even in other policies, where in case you have a fire, if you just call that one number, again, you'll be able to get the kind of help that you need, be it the fire extinguishers and all, and somebody just coming to fix a few things, and getting you alternative accommodation. A lot is happening. Yes.
I've heard you use the word easy when it comes to claims, and that is not a term that a lot of people would agree with, because just the general process of putting in a claim feels very opaque, feels very ambiguous, it's not very clear. So to anyone that is listening right now, maybe you'd be able to take us through that process as far as Old Mutual is concerned, just to ease someone's mind, because the most dreadful part of any incident or accident is actually thinking, okay, I need to go through the insurance process. Oh my God, it's so dreadful.
Thank you. I understand that feeling. It's not a good feeling when you have a claim. It's one thing to face a loss, but another thing to feel that, I don't want to say like you're going to see a dentist or something like that. So one thing that somebody who is making or filing a claim need to understand is that you have a role to play in making this process fast, because you're the one who knows what has happened. You're the one who has the experience. You're the one with the information. So sometimes people will just put one line in a claim form. So what that will do is that we'll have to come back to you and ask you exactly what happened, if it's a motor claim. If it's a fire claim, it may be extensive, for instance. So you'll need a whole list of documentation. Say it's a business. You need to have the list of the transactions for yesterday, the bankings and all. And a lot of people don't keep these documents. If you look at a fire policy, for instance, it tells you that you need to have your documents and transactions saved outside the premises, so that in case of fire, you can retrieve. And now it's easy. You can even do it in Google and something like that. So if you're in a motor accident, for instance, the first thing you should do is take photographs. If the photos and now most people have smart cameras. You take a photo, it has a date. So there won't be any argument on, oh, you are not at that place at that time. There's no consistency. The damage didn't take place the way you're saying. So with photos, it reduces time of claiming. If I don't have photos, I may be forced to send an investigator who is going to confirm, did the accident happen the way it did? Were there witnesses? Is it true? And all that kind of a thing. So there are ways that we can make it easy. At the same time, when you're filing a claim, you must ask, what are the list of documents? We try to avail them that are required so that there's no piecemeal submission of documentation. And for every type of claim, we have a list of expected documents that you can get at the time of buying the policy. There are also some small things that one needs to understand, that in every claim, most likely there will be a policy excess, so that you manage your expectation. They didn't pay me in full, and I was expecting this kind of a thing. And that's also why we ask for, say, vehicles to be valued, buildings to be valued. If you valued your vehicle, again, it reduces the question that an insurer would ask. For instance, did the vehicle exist?
You've brought up a very important thing, which is the policy excess.
Yes.
And a lot of people often get to hear this term when they're claiming.
Yes.
So at the point of them signing up for the insurance and doing their monthly contributions and payments, that actually never comes up. So the question becomes, why have I been paying X amount, which ideally, if I don't claim, that money is gone? So common logic is I've been paying. So this is like I barely get to claim. But on the one time, I come in and say my car is a write-off, or, I need to the tune of X much. Then the insurance comes back and says, no, there's an excess of this much. Maybe help us make sense of why that excess term exists and why it's actually something that at the point of purchase of any policy, the disclosure has to be there.
Thank you. The policy document is the main document that we need to understand, and it has everything. At the point of purchase of your document, and this is the contract that you have with the insurance company, you need to make sure that you just have a basic understanding of what that document contains. People say there's small print, but Lily, if you just read it as a layman, you will get a lot of information, and what is not clear, you can ask, and you'll be able to be given the answers. Policy excess, why does it exist? So one of the insurance, I won't call it a principle, but it's that you should act as if you're not insured in every risk. So I won't drive carelessly because I'm insured. I won't fail to have, say, fire extinguishers because I'm insured, that kind of a thing. So it's the kind of claims that we get, there are many. So you say that, I don't expect that somebody will be filing a claim of 2,000, 1,000 for a vehicle that is worth 5 million, for instance. So you're expected to act as if uninsured. And for you to take part of that responsibility, that's why most policies will make sure that you also feel a bit of a pinch in that there's a small excess, but it's usually a very, a very small percentage of what you're expected to pay. And it's just to make sure that you're careful such that not every small thing is being filed with the insurance company. Yes.
Well, we're speaking to Esther Kiome, of course, the GM claims Old Mutual, talking us through some of the things you can expect and giving us a big picture in terms of insurance and claims, from policy excess, valuing your vehicles, for example, pretty well, acting like you are not insured, which will mean you avoid small accidents, and ultimately, I guess it's good for you and good for Old Mutual as well, and insurance companies. Then there's obviously expected documents, which you should get as you're getting the policy, know what will be expected of you, and it brings a whole new meaning to the song Say Cheese, Take a Picture, because if you're in an accident, please take a picture. It is vital for you, and it could just speed up your claims. All right, So there we go. Speaking of pictures, let me paint a picture for you. If you or someone you know have ever received a call or a letter saying Kenya Power wants to lease your land for a transformer, can I break the truth down for you? Fraud. In fact, fraudsters are using fake letters. They have stamps. They have promises of fast money to trick property owners. Like you and myself, Kenya Power does not, and I repeat this with utmost confidence, Kenya Power does not pay individuals to lease land for transformers. So if someone hits you with that line, look at them and think twice. Is in the streets of Nairobi. If someone pressures you or asks for money, that's another red flag. Giving you red flags here. Always verify through official Kenya Power offices or use this number, *977#. The Jua for sure option to confirm staff identity. Remember that. They say they're from Kenya Power. Well, let's confirm your identity. Give me my phone, *977#. Come on, let's protect our community. When we work together to stop fraud and vandalism, that's how we do it. Kenya Power plus customers plus the public, pamoja twanga.
You get a call. Someone tells you that Kenya Power wants to lease your land for a power transformer and promises fast payment. That is fake. Fraudsters are using fake letters and stamps to trick landowners into giving money. They'll pressure you to move fast and ask for cash up front. That's a red flag. Kenya Power does not lease space to install equipment or infrastructure for electricity distribution. Always verify documents and confirm with relevant offices. If something doesn't feel right, don't go ahead. Ignore these calls from fraudsters. Report suspicious calls and talk to authorities. Dial *977# for information. Capital Traffic and Travel.
Well, let us know where you're stuck, what's going on around you, 0701984984. The A104 traffic delays of close to 10 minutes. The Eastern Bypass did speak about it earlier, close to, actually it's half an hour of delays, and Red Hill Link Road closely, fighting for that top spot in terms of delays with the Eastern Bypass. Delays of 22 minutes. Y'all are on the move. Well, I hope you have your car insured, because you don't want to be on those roads just risking yourself and everybody around you. And if you don't, then you know where to go. And I hope you're listening in to Esther here from Old Mutual. 0701984984 is the WhatsApp line to let us know what's going on around you, or at 984 in the morning using the hashtag #DriveIn at the end.
Capital Traffic and Travel. Capital Sports Update, where sports is taken seriously.
Now my mic's on. That was awkward. The Broadway Bread FC head coach. Yeah, that's actually a team. Broadway Bread. Wonder what they have for meals before a game.
Bread, can I guess?
Take a wild guess.
Bread.
I know, right? Justin Okoba, that's the coach, has praised his Chargers after their shock win over AFC Leopards in yesterday's Football Kenya Federation Cup tie at the Police Sacco Stadium. Okoba, in fact, says his players gave all they had and perfectly executed the strategy which they had developed on the training ground. Now, Okoba and his team beat Ingwe 4-3. That was post-match penalties after a 2-2 draw in regular time. Congratulations to the Brady boys. Meanwhile, Nairobi United's tough run in the CAF Confederations Cup continued with a 1-0 loss at the hands of Wydad Casablanca at Kasarani Stadium. That game, Jana Giaune, former Monaco and French international Wissam Ben Yedder, scored the all-important goal. That was in the 89th minute as Nai Boys finished the match with 10 men following Steve Biko Omolo's dismissal in the dying seconds of that game. Nairobi United will now play their last game of the competition before they were waved bye-bye. That game will be against Democratic Republic of Congo side AS Maniema. 6 people were yesterday arrested following clashes with Italian police amid protests against the ongoing Winter Olympics in Milan, where Mariah Carey sang, by the way, in Italian. The protests grew deadly as some demonstrators threw stones at the police in northern Italy, forcing law enforcers to respond with water cannons. Yesterday's demonstrations came a week after another one in Turin, which the government claims left 100 police officers with injuries. And finally, International Cricket Council officials will this week meet with the Pakistani Cricket Board ahead of the country's plan to boycott their T20 World Cup match against India. The meeting will be spearheaded by ICC Deputy Chair Imran Khawaja and Executive Committee member Mubashar Usmani to convince Pakistan to drop the boycott, which could have serious ramifications on the viewership of the competitions. Pakistan decided to boycott the match in support of Bangladesh, who also withdrew from after ICC refused to move their matches from India amid rising political tensions. That's your Capital FM Sports Update. www.capitalfm.co.ke/sports for more.
Capital Sports Update. Up-to-the-minute sports, where sports is taken seriously.
Coffee's on, and so is the music. You've found your morning show. Capital in the Morning with Chiko and Fellaris.
Steady.
Well, rocking steady with you all through to 10 o'clock. Stick around in the next hour. All request, all about the 80s. Start sending in your request 070-984-984. Now, we are here just about to get into a very, very juicy conversation with Old Mutual Esther on all things fraud, insurance fraud. But before that, let's talk about those scary messages that sometimes you get or you've received that tell you your electricity will be disconnected unless you pay immediately. Now, that causes you so much panic. But here's what I want you to do. Take a moment. That's a common scam tactic that happens and has become very, very frequent. Fraudsters send fake alerts with random pay bill numbers and urgent deadlines. Now, all I want you to remember is that Kenya power bills come through official channels and the official payment go to one pay bill number, and that is 888 for bills, and tokens are paid via the pay bill 888 Now, if you're in doubt, check your account or contact official Kenya power lines, and don't let pressure make you lose your hard-earned money. Stay alert, verify before you pay, because when you fight fraud together, pamoja twanga.
Speaking of fraud, it's interesting you should say that, because Esther Kiome, who's in here, General Manager, claims Old Mutual has just given a piece of statistic that has me rethinking my judgmental thoughts towards insurers, because she says, get this, 25% of the claims which insurers pay are fraudulent, especially when it comes to medical and motor insurances, which is a humongous amount. Now, there's so many aspects of fraud that we would probably touch on, but in general, fraud when it comes to insurance claims is clearly a big deal. How bad is it? I know the number 25% is insane, so how bad is it? Which cases are we dealing with apart from motor and health insurance? And of course, how do you circumvent such situations as an insurer?
Thank you. Thank you so much, Chiko, on this. It's very important, and it's one of the pain points for customers, and not just for customers, but also for insurance companies and for Old Mutual. Because if we continue to pay this kind of fraudulent claims, then there'll be no money to pay the genuine claims. So there's a lot of diligence that goes into evaluating customers, because there are people who are just seated somewhere as we talk right now who are scheming how to defraud insurers. And these are experts. So I think some of us have heard of cases where vehicles used to be rolled down my Mahio because nobody can buy that kind of vehicle, makes given you a lot of problems, or it's knocked into a tree or a building. So we've had those kind of cases. And we've also had cases where people are even said to be dead and they are alive. And you know the emotions that come with all this, particularly when it comes to medical, you really have to put your emotions into it. And I know when you go to hospital, somebody will ask you, are you insured or not? That's a very important question somebody is asking you. It's not just for the sake of it. He wants to know how much he wants to charge. So if there's insurance, then I can charge as much as I want. Or if there's no insurance, then you're coughing from your pocket, maybe I should be a bit gentle on you. And sometimes you even get more medication than you really would have needed to get because there's insurance paying. So we have a lot of these instances. Somebody will also previously, like there are policies that don't cover suicide, but a lot have changed around that because of mental health. So you find that somebody has committed suicide. I've had such a case, but somebody will say, no, he was thrown. So you have to do a lot of investigation to try and establish the facts. So we have fraud relating to the actual damage where it's exaggerated. And that's where we find that a lot of, like in Old Mutual, we do have assessment centers where you can drive, and they are in every county. We have in Mombasa, we have in Kisumu, we have in Eldoret, we have in Meru, where you can just drive in and your vehicle is assessed on the spot. That way we prevent the exaggeration of damages that would sometimes happen. And that way you reduce the leakages or instances of where you would have to pay more. So we have cases of exaggeration of damages. And we also have cases of outright manipulation, where somebody says that thieves came into my house or I was carjacked, and there was nothing like that. You've actually sold your items of your belongings, and you have found where somebody says, yeah, this was actually sold to me. So that's why you complete a proposal form, and there's some due diligence that goes into that to find out what kind of a person it is. When it comes to you filing a claim, we have systems that are able to flag for us to say, for instance, you need to check more about this policy because it's new, for instance, or valuation was not done, or many other instances that we have put in the system to flag. If a customer has been with you for a long time and has not had a claim, you may not be so much interested in investigating them. You may just need to make a call to follow up, maybe a few more questions that you might have, or maybe just a question, because sometimes people don't tell the truth because of other reasons. For instance, I had a case where somebody had a passenger but did not want to say they have a passenger because this is a side chick. So if this information comes out there, now it becomes a different story. So this is not somebody trying to defraud insurance, but has something to hide. Now, I'm not interested in destroying the family. So when he came to my office, he said, no, I just want to meet the general manager, and walked in. I said, look, I'm not going to write this, but I want to say 1, 2, 3. So I said, this is what you should have done. You would have paid your claim long time ago. And that's a place of utmost good faith, where if you don't give the truth, or the whole information, you make us suspicious. Why are you hiding? Why are you hiding this information? If the damage is not consistent with what you're telling us, we'll have to investigate that. So you need to come and say, after I hit this, there's something that happened, that there was further damage, or whatever it is. If that's not coming out clearly, then you find somebody saying, oh, the process is painful, it's taking too long, because you're not giving us full information. Yes.
Full disclosure and truth. And I'm happy that you put in that example, because we've seen enough reports, and glaring reality.
Sometimes those claims are insane.
Yeah.
Nikwambia story yangu ya punda. Punda.
A
Zebra. And then I had to say punda because where I went to report, I didn't take pictures and it was a whole problem with claiming to insurance. But it was the first time, so like you said, they were very easy with me because I don't claim insurance.
Yes.
I was not someone you'd find in an accident. But as for the medical one, funny story, I love how that when you're in the hospital, nothing frustrates me and makes me happy at the same time. They visit you with a card. Hey, how are you feeling? Before it hit me, wait, these are guys from insurance who were like, how are you feeling?
Yeah.
Everyone treating you well? I was like, yeah. And then you realize it's when I was shot in the leg. Well, technically it was infection, but I like to go with the story that I was shot in the leg. It's more entertaining that way. But yeah, that's it's interesting the lengths you have to go through to ensure that you get the proper information. Who are your investigators? Like Fellaris was asking you off mic. How you phrase it better?
Yeah, it's by the time an investigation is being launched, it's a service that's being provided, so you'd expect a human touch to it. But then again, when it's a case of they make you feel guilty until proven innocent, it's the language and the manner in which they speak to you. So the question here becomes, who are these agents that you use as investigators, and how can you soften the way they relate to your customers? Because sometimes they're a bit too aggressive.
Yeah, that's true. And a lot of insurance services, when it comes to claims, we actually outsource a lot of these services like loss adjustments, investigation, repairs of the vehicles. We don't own the garages. And so we understand that we have a lot of dependencies and we need to train them. And so what we do every year, we train our service providers. We not only train them, but we sign contracts with them the SLAs and the expectations. We not only sign contracts with them, but we have scorecards. Every year they sign scorecards in terms of quality of work that we expect, customer service, and generally the kind of reports that they are giving us, the speed, because it's also key, how quickly are you able to get this information, and we do evaluations twice a year with them, such that if you're not meeting expectations, you go. How do we know they're not meeting expectations? It's because of the feedback that we get from customers. And so we request, if you've not been treated well by whoever it is, be it an investigator, a loss adjuster, a garage, please submit. We do have these questions we ask there, feedback, kindly give us feedback. So we do train them, and we make them understand. We are all being paid by this customer. Customer is the one paying everybody along the line. If we lose this customer, we also won't be able to pay you. We won't keep you in the job. So, and also we make them understand that some of these customers will never come to Old Mutual offices. Their image of Old Mutual, it is that investigator who gets to their homes or to their businesses.
As we wrap up this conversation with Esther, I want to hear of one success story where claims and fulfillments are concerned. How, if you could think back to, the 15 years you've been at Old Mutual, if there is a claim that you witnessed firsthand being processed effectively, provision of information from the policy holder, the insurance holder to Old Mutual, and how this helped either their business or even just could have been a medical claim, a motor vehicle claim, whatever claim it was. What is that one story you could reference to?
I have many, but I can just isolate. I had one fire claim, I think someplace in Molo, and it was a factory. Unfortunately, they had some substance that accelerated the fire, and insurance exclude those kind of accelerators in the building. And so initially, we declined the claim, but the customer said, kindly, I would like to see somebody come, and I would like to have some discussions with the senior management. And so I went to Molo, and the customer took us round. And one of the things that I was able to get immediately is that this is not somebody who can ban his own business. I know it happens. So he took us round, and he explained, when I was able to see the kind of approvals he had gotten from the government and the initiatives that he had put to make sure that there is no fire. I just called somebody and just say, come and look this business and the loss. I think there's something we can do for the customer. And we're able to pay the customer around 19 million. He was happy because he was able to get back to his feet and continue with the business. We've had other cases where it's really fast because we already had information in our records. For instance, if it's a big business, we said surveyors, they come and survey. So when you file a claim, we already know you. We already know your business. So within a week, we've processed your business. But I know there are other problematic cases. I had one case where the customer shed tears, and that was just last week because he didn't have extension for a particular policy. Remember the Gen Z riots. And these are things that are so real with us. And somebody's building was burned down and all, but he had not extended the, what you call, political violence policy, because he thinks, well, I'm comprehensively covered. I think that word really mislead customers. You need to understand what does it mean to be comprehensively covered, because there are exclusions.
There's exclusions.
There are exclusions, and people don't understand that. So this particular case, the customer was really unhappy because auctioneers are now on his case. He has bank loans and all. And last week, he came to our office and he said, look, you've been with us for 14 years, and we want to do something for you that is going to help you. And you are able to pay him 52 million. And right there, he cried.
It's very interesting because one of the things that you've said that is constantly playing out in reality as you get your final thoughts is on the fact that we hear these terms, but we don't completely understand comprehensive. What are the exclusions? So how can you, where can we find this proper information? You know, the fine print that we should be reading.
Thank you. So insurance policies will always give you, it defines what is covered. There's a standard way a policy is. And then in addition to that, it tells you what are the list of, we call them perils, but say fire or flood or whatever it is, the occurrence that would be covered. And then it comes to exclusions. What is not covered? And it will list, every policy will tell you what is not covered. If it's medical, it will tell you, if you have a chronic illness, this will be the limit. Or you'll have to wait for 1 year. But I think we don't bother. You just take that document, put it in your drawer
And forget
until there's
about
a
it.
loss, and then you say,
Yeah.
no, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. So that's why I said at the beginning, when you're buying a product, please ensure that you understand and ask what is excluded. Very important.
Esther Kiome, GM claims from Old Mutual, giving us a different perspective in terms of insurance. Not just we can understand where they're coming from, but we can also understand the situation in that industry, and of course how you can prevent from possible fraud, from possible frustrations in the future, and ease the in terms of getting your claims coming through. Speaking of ease, in case you are getting those crazy SMSs, hey, yo, lipa stima ama tukukatie, I need you to do me a favor. Check. Don't just fall for it. Don't be rushing into sending money. Fraudsters are not only in insurance, also when it comes to Kenya Power, and we have fake alerts with random pay bill numbers, urgent deadlines. Remember, if you are in Kenya Power, you're a customer, then there are different ways you pay. Official pay bills for those who pay post 888. If you're using tokens, it's 888-880. And if you are looking to get a new connection, all you need to do is dial, use the paybill number 888899. And by the way, there's a magic code in case someone anakuja na kuambia yeye ni mtu wa Kenya Power alafu anaanza kukufrustrate ndio utoeka kitu kadogo. Jua for sure, verify who they are and service yourself by dialing the number *977#. Remember, pamoja tuanga, pamoja tuanga. So tukae pamoja. Use those numbers and make your life much easier. Thank you very much to Esther Kiome for coming through. It was an absolute pleasure. We are grateful that you came through.
Thank you. Thank you. It's my pleasure.
Absolutely. Hope to have more conversations in terms of insurance and other industries where we need to have a better understanding. Right now, though, we turn our attention to the one and only hour, which is the Request Hour, right here on Capital in the Morning with Fellaris and myself. It's, 3 minutes to 9 o'clock with KCB Bank. Ravisha and Win Big with KCB is on. Save in your KCB Gold Savings account and win big. 50,000 shillings to 30 winners for a trip to Naivasha Safari Rally. How about that? New customers start off with a 5,000 initial deposit and save 2,500 monthly. For the grand prize, set your goal purpose to plot or house purchase and save at least 50,000 by the 26th of April 2026, and you could be the lucky winner of a one-bedroom apartment at Tattoo City by Unity Homes or $500,000 MMF prize money. T&Cs apply. KCB for people for better. And now we turn our attention to those requests. Send them in 0701-984-984. Here's a bit of a tease. Some Lionel Richie, Ballerina Girl, to get you started. Good morning.